Well, welcome everybody. This is 4Q Boundaries Live. We do this every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And tonight, our question is are you arguing with ghosts? And this question came up when I was actually looking at tonight's tool, and when I started listening to the audio for myself and sort of exploring, well, what type of topics should I talk about tonight? Before I started listening to the audio, I started experiencing all this stuff, and we'll talk more about this tonight. But it was the stimulus before I started listening to the audio. I was arguing with a phantom person, so to speak. It was a person that I knew. We were having an argument for, it wasn't even reality, but it was a ghost, basically. So how many times in your life have you ever had an argument with someone not present, or got emotionally engaged with somebody? It could be a positive emotional engagement or a negative. It doesn't really matter, but it's not reality when the person's not actually in the room. And so that's actually part of what we'll be discussing tonight. So, oops, we're not going that part yet. But anyway, so my name is Michael Spackman. I am a craniosacral therapist, business owner, and creator of 4Q Boundaries. And our mission is to help people move from being energetic sponges to being powerful observers. And tonight, what we'll be doing is clearing out foreign energy that's influencing our four bodies. And we're using a tool called the glass image to do it. And we're going to be talking about the four bodies, and we're going to be talking about the glass tool before we actually get into the mechanics and actually do the work. So this is week 8 of our YouTube lives. We have actually had the past 7 weeks, we've been teaching tools, and each of these tools have been really leading us to tonight's presentation, or tonight's meditation as well. So the first week, we actually worked on grounding. So it was actually, how do you release energy in your body and really start to get more present within your body. And then the next week, once we learned how to release stuff, this week, that week I should say, week 2, is we learned how to reclaim our energy, how to call our energy out of other people and other places, other events, and bring that energy into our body. And then the week after that, we started working with your inner sanctuary. And that inner sanctuary is all about really being in your head. And not in the sense of an intellectual sense, but having a felt sense area that you can put your attention on, which is in the present moment. Because your body is the only thing about you that's in the present moment. So this gives you an area which is a part of your central nervous system to be really rooted in the present moment. And then the next week, which was week 4, we worked on energy flow. So it was introducing you to 2 different energies, earth and cosmic energy, and allowing that energy to flow through your body from a neutral standpoint, helping you clear out any stimulus that you may be holding on to, so that way you can release that and be more present in the moment. And then week 6 or week 5, we actually moved from the introduction to energy flow to incorporating that into our entire space. So we learned some new ways of running the energy, not complicated, but we also included our personal space, which is our aura and inwards. And so we started defining that personal space, which is the boundaries of our aura, and grounding that, and then letting that energy flow through, and again, clearing out our personal space. And then in week 6, we actually learned about a boundary bubble. And what we were doing that week was learning how to become more conscious of our aura, our personal space, learn how to retract that so that way you have your boundaries without it being massive, as well as creating this tool which is actually helping you become more conscious of your entire personal space as well as becoming aware of, well, where are you unconscious within that, your personal space? And then last week, we were working on creating and destroying bubbles, which is all about when energy is so stuck within us and we can't release, we use this tool to help clear out that energy so that way that energy can flow through our body. We become less entrenched in stagnant energy, which then leads us to tonight, which is all about neutrality and what that means. And so that's what we're going to be exploring tonight. So neutrality is really a space that is between your stimulus and then taking action to the stimulus itself. And our goal tonight is we'll be using a tool, and I've already mentioned this, or maybe I haven't, but it's called a glass image. But we're using this tool to actually give us more information about how are we experiencing stimuli, or are we experiencing stimuli? So for example, like I said, we have four different bodies. We have a physical body, and that physical body, you will notice things. You'll actually, let's say your body may react. And we've seen this where somebody gets stimulated and the next thing you know, they get hit. And that reaction of they don't think, they just react physically is actually a stimulus in their body that says, you push this button, I respond by reacting this way, which is called I hit. Also fleeing, you may get stimulated and your reaction may be, I need to run. And that is also a physical reaction because now you're fleeing from a stimulus. Versus being present, which is really like, whoa, I just got stimulated, wow. And becoming more conscious of what that stimulus is, and then making the decision. Do I want to react by hitting somebody? Or do I want to react by fleeing? So it gives you a little bit more permission or space to actually decide, well, how do I want to respond to this stimulus? And so it creates more space so that way you're in charge of your stimulus versus the stimulus is really controlling you. Now, from an emotional level, this is the same thing. Maybe, you get stimulated and you burst with anger, fits of anger where you're just screaming at the top of your lungs when somebody says, pass me the salt. Or maybe you start crying because, somebody mentions a word that triggers you in remembering something that made you, that you still are holding in the emotions, and then you burst out with those emotions. And again, there's no space. It was called stimulus reaction to the and then the emotional body starts reacting to the stimulus. Versus when you have, again, more of your space in your emotional body, you're able to go, whoa, I'm feeling all of this stuff. And you may still need to cry. There's nothing wrong with crying, or there's nothing wrong with anger. But the difference is you can actually become aware of it and then realize, okay, is this where I need to have an emotional release, or maybe I just need to be aware of it and then say, okay, I need to deal with this trauma, not at this moment in time, but at some point in time, so that way I can have more of my emotional body for myself. Mental body is the same thing. Maybe, I put down here analysis paralysis. Maybe so much data is coming in, you freeze. I don't know what to do. I have so many choices that I don't know how to respond or how to communicate. Or it's like you get so overwhelmed so much that you just stop responding altogether. And now you just react because your emotional body is just completely overwhelmed with too much stimulus. And sometimes you'll just shut down. It's like, I don't want to think about it. I don't want to deal with it. And so, or again, it goes back to the deliberate side where you're actually thinking about, okay, it's reflection. What do I need to do when this situation comes up? How do I want to respond to this? And so this is more of a reflective moment where you're actually using that part of you, which is the analytical side, the reflective side of you, to then decide, well, what's the best course of action? And that mental body is also processing and interpreting what's happening on the physical level and the emotional level. So this is where that reflection comes in, which is within the mental body itself. And at the same time, like I gave that analysis of analysis paralysis. Well, what happens is when you go into the paralysis side, a lot of times you just escape. And that actually leads us into the spiritual body, which is escapism, where we may go, am I in the present moment, or do I need to just check out? And if you notice society, since technology has gotten really advanced, so many people are checked out. If you look around us, there'll be people at restaurants eating together with their partner and their kids, and they could all be on their cell phones. Nobody's talking because they're not in their body, they're in their cell phone. You could do that with books. You could do that with your TV set, your computer. And so it's anywhere that you're not physically present in your body, you're somewhere else. And that's basically you're escaping your physical experience. Or you can actually have a physical connection, which means you can actually communicate with people. You can have a direct connection where you can actually become more aware of people's energy and be aware of having a conversation with somebody. And that's actually being in your body so that way you can actually have an experience. And so tonight's tool is really all about giving you that freedom of choice where you're able to become conscious of stimulus in a different way using this specific tool. So that way you can have choices on, well, how do I want to react to the stimulus around me? Because you can't get rid of stimulus. Stimulus is life. You'll always have stimulus around you, but how you react to the stimulus is by choice, most of the time. So how the glass image works is really, it's a gauge. And what it does is, it's literally, it's a descriptive term. What we do is we actually are creating an image of you, and you're visualizing this as of an image of you that's entirely glass, where it's see-through and nothing's in this glass. And when you're in a perfectly neutral space where everything is, you're at this complete neutral stance, that glass image is free of anything in it. That's not life. So don't expect to be at a glass image because that's really perfection and that doesn't exist, because we're always stimulated by stuff. But what we're doing is we're using that absolute term to become aware of what's within us. And this is why it's about taking the temperature, because when you're paying attention to this tool, this glass image of you, what you see, let's say, or how you experience the tool is actually teaching you what's going on within your own space. Because what we're doing, 4Q Boundaries is all about experiential learning. It's not about thought process. And I'll talk about this a little bit later. But like, for example, we'll use the tool tonight. And if you're like going, oh my gosh, doing this, using this tool, I just feel my body clenching up and I feel all this effort in trying to do this activity. Well, guess what? You're using your physical body to try to manifest this tool. Or maybe you look at this tool and next thing you know, your emotions start getting all crazy and wonky within you. You're like, what the heck's going on? I don't know why I'm feeling this way. Well, guess what? That's because as you're putting your attention on this tool, you're becoming more aware of that emotional body, because that's what's being stirred up when you're looking at this tool, which is all about neutrality. And that's the same thing with the mental space or the spiritual space. You know, you may go to sleep and that's teaching you something. So it's all about that awareness. The other thing is like I said, this tool is glass, so there's nothing in it. So once you get to a place where you're able to actually observe the glass image itself of you, that symbol of you, you're going to start to notice maybe colors in it. And let you know, 4Q Boundaries, we do not have definitions for colors. I know some people like to define colors. I don't know why. To me, that's just a mental construct of for a color. I mean, I know different cultures have different, red means different in different cultures, black means different in different cultures, white, everything. And that's because people have a concept of what it is. And in 4Q Boundaries, it's nothing more than a vibrational tone. Okay, everything is energy. And because everything's energy, red vibrates at a different vibration than blue or green or yellow or white or black. those are different vibrational tones within the body. And so that's what we recognize. And so when you look at a color within your glass image, just recognize, oh wow, I have stimulus, some type of stimulus within me that's at red vibration. Cool. You don't need to know anything else. And that's where we get to this one part here, which is called observing versus thinking. Observing is, oh wow, I see red in my glass tool. That's all you need to know. You don't need to understand, well, why is this red in here? And what does this red mean? And if you do that, you're going to go down this analysis standpoint, which really has nothing to do with what we're doing tonight. And we'll get into the basics tonight, which is basically we have, it's all about noticing what we notice without trying to figure things out. Because the moment you start figuring something out, you're in that mental body and you're sort of ignoring the other two bodies or three bodies, the physical, the emotional, and the spiritual side. Because now you're sort of stuck in the middle of that mental body trying to figure something out. And we want to become conscious to all four bodies. So that way we can decide, well, where do I need to put my attention and have that ability to freely move between the layers of us versus being stuck within just that mental body itself. And that's why we call this, it's all about, it's direct experience. I don't like teaching information because information is just that. It's a mental body. It's an experience of communication back and forth, but it's within the realm of the mental body. And so what I want you to do tonight is put your attention on yourself so that way you start to learn about, well, how do I experience myself? And then by experiencing yourself, then you're able to become more aware of like, well, is this experience within my physical body? Is it my emotional body, my mental body, my spiritual body? How am I perceiving this stimulus? And then what it's doing is it's helping you become more aware of those areas of you and how different stimuli impacts you. And so this is why we actually practice is, you're learning about stuff. So if tonight, you can't see the image or if you go unconscious, well, you're still listening to the audio. So guess what? It's working because that I can't see something is telling you that your ability to visualize something is being impacted, which means there's something in you that's causing you not to see. And then we use the tools, which we've been learning for the last 7 weeks, to clear that energy out so that way then you can see. And that's why we listen to the audios. We use the tools to clear us out versus trying to figure it out. It's not about planning, it's just about taking action. And that's what these tools are all about. So, for example, tonight's tool again is all about that noticing a glass image of you, that symbol of you that's of glass. And what you're doing is just by becoming aware of that tool is you're going to start to experience mental programs. Can I see it? Is this real? How should I be doing this? And realize that within your mental space, that ability to reflect, that ability to analyze, that ability to perceive things, you've been socially conditioned. You've been conditioned to recognize things through family, friends, how you react with people that you know, with our politics today, or our economic systems. They have influences. Like in here I said about, the belief systems about worth and power and what scarcity is and what that means. Our education system, it teaches us that logic and also religion. Logic, also dogma of how things are supposed to be based on a belief system. But no, those are all mental scripts. And a lot of times what happens, those mental scripts, they get really foggy within our space. A lot of times we lose consciousness to the fact that these are scripts that we've learned from people. And then we just start reacting and acting in a way because that's what a script does. It's on autopilot. But by becoming more aware of your own personal space, these scripts will start to come out and you'll start to recognize, oh, wow, I learned this belief from my dad or my mother or my brothers, my siblings or my friends. Now, that doesn't mean you may want to change the script. It just means that you start to learn the origins of how your belief system comes from. And then that's cool, because now you could decide, do I like what I believe or do I want to change it? And that's really where 4Q boundaries comes in, because what we're doing is we're creating a roadmap for you, and we're not telling you how to live, we're not telling you how to be. What we're doing is we're creating a space for you to go inwards, to explore yourself on a physical level, on an emotional level, and on a mental level and a spiritual level. And by you becoming more conscious of these layers within you, you get to decide how you want to have a relationship with your physical body, your emotional body, your mental body, and spiritual body. Because the one thing that we do recognize, and I really, I don't emphasize this in the training or how I talk, but it's my reality, and this is why I'm communicating this to you, is you are a spiritual being inhabiting a physical body. Okay? Everybody you see that has a body is a spiritual being inhabiting a physical body. They are not you. They are not you on a spiritual level. They are not you on a physical level. They are not you on an emotional, mental, and spiritual level. They're unique. And so what happens on a physical level, we know, we can say, okay, this is my body, this is your body. But we also have an emotional, mental, and spiritual level, which is energetic. And so what happens is that it's easier to match and to lose awareness of these other bodies, these other parts of us. And when we lose that awareness of these other parts of us, what happens is we start to dim our light as spiritual beings inhabiting this physical form. And so what happens is natural flow of our information, this natural sense of feeling well, feeling whole, feeling complete, gets diminished because we have these scripts and programmings in various parts of our four bodies that influence our ability to connect. And this is part of what we're doing with all of these tools and everything about 4Q boundaries is clearing out those scripts so that way you could be your authentic self. And that's your definition of what authentic self is, not mine, because it's all about you defining yourself. So we're almost ready for the audio. So tonight, this is the only rules that I say, and the rules are subjective too. It's awareness over mastery. This is all about living. You're always going to have stimulus that comes in, interferes with you, but you have the ability to let stuff go. And that's what the audios are designed to do. They're different tools to help you release based on what your needs are. So tonight we're listening to the glass image. So tonight, listen to the audio. And then as you're listening to the audio, so notice what you notice. That's all it is don't try to figure out what you're experiencing. Just experience yourself, have your eyes closed, notice what you're experiencing. And again, this is a repeated process. So tonight is one experience. But if you really want to learn how to have your personal space, learn how to take ownership of these various bodies, is you have to repeat the process, which means you have to practice. And we'll talk about that in a little bit too. So tonight, you don't have to do anything. You're already listening to this audio, so congratulations. So what I would recommend you do is have a comfortable seat, feet flat on the floor, hands open, relaxed, and make sure there's no distractions around you. And then really just have the intention that you're going to be listening to the audio for the time period of the audio and just, well, what am I experiencing tonight? And notice that if your thoughts are about other things, other places, maybe you're still thinking about the day, well, just let those go. If you have to, have a little scratch paper next to you and write a note saying, don't forget this. But then put that to a side and forget about it, because you're here it's about going inwards tonight. So like I said, tonight is all about the glass image. It's about neutrality. The audio itself is going to be 52 minutes long. That is the longest audio of all of our training, but it's well worth it, and I'll tell you why in a second. But again, instructions are notice what you notice, nothing else. And yeah, be aware. You may be neutral, you may not, you may fall asleep. However you experience this session is your experience, and there's no right way of experiencing the session. And by the way, if you listen to this audio more than once, guess what? You're going to have a different experience each time. because you're not the same person each time you listen to the audio, which is very cool. So, yeah, so that's it for this slide. So we're going to move on to the audio itself, the presentation. And this is tonight's audio. It's broken down into 3 parts. The introduction is going to be covering all 7 tools up to today. And this is really important. We cover this for a reason, because each tool is teaching you, and I already went through the tools, so I'm not going to go into that. So we're actually listening to these tools for 18 minutes. It's helping you get ready for the next tool, which is the glass image, which is also a body scan, but it's also a body scan using the creating and destroying bubbles tool to help clear out the energy that's in your glass image. And that's going to be about 33 minutes long, and then we conclude really quickly. And then once we're done with that, we'll go back to the slides real quickly, and then we'll end it for the night. So that is about it. So I'm going to turn off my mic and get this audio going.
Let's begin. I'd like you to put your attention on your body and just notice, how does your body feel? Notice, what is it like to be sitting in a chair? And just feel where your body is touching that chair, as well as your feet touching the floor. And as you're noticing your body and getting acquainted with it, you can notice the weight and how gravity is keeping you in that chair. And just notice that gravity is not only pulling you into that chair, but it continues down your grounding cord. And just be aware of your grounding cord. What color are you using right now? Notice that connection to the base of your spine and the length of that grounding cord going all the way down to the center of the planet. You can look at that grounding cord from a 360-degree angle. And notice how wide your grounding cord is, how dense and thick it is. And just notice what a great job your grounding cord's doing on helping your body release. And you can notice your breath. Just notice your body breathing. And just allow your body to continue to relax. As you're finding your space, as you're releasing foreign stuff out of you. And you're really doing it in no effort. You don't have to make energy release out of you. It just does because gravity's there. And I'd like you to create a bubble in front of you. And in this bubble, I'd like you to call back your energy from the day, the week, any place that you have left your energy, any time frame that you've left your energy. It could be energy in the past. It could be energy in the future. Wherever you left your energy, just call it back. It does you no good being outside of your body. So let that energy come to you. Reclaim it in this bubble. And then bring this bubble above your head and poke a hole in it and just allow this energy to come into your body, saturating every cell, watching it melt like butter, coating everything, filling you up with you. And just be aware of being full of yourself. Noticing that you're a full container with your energy. And then I'd like you to put your attention on your inner sanctuary. And just notice that space. You don't have to do anything with it right now. Just notice it. Can you be aware of the front of your head and the back and the sides? Can you be aware of the top of your head as well as the bottom? And just notice that whole space between those points is your inner sanctuary. Do you have a color set for it? A tone, a vibration. And that vibration is basically saying, this is mine. I own this. And you can notice in the middle of your inner sanctuary, that grounding cord that goes all the way down to the center of the planet. Notice it's nice and firm. It's a strong grounding cord. And anything that's in your inner sanctuary that does not agree with you owning your inner sanctuary, allow that grounding cord to take it. Allow it to release out of that space. And now I'd like you to put your attention on your feet and notice your earth energy running. Notice the color coming from the center of the planet, that neutral color, whatever that is for you. Just see it, recognize it, validate its movement that comes up into your feet, through your ankles, through your calves, through the knees, through the thighs, all the way up to the hips. And then it goes down to that grounding cord at the base of your spine, and then it goes down your grounding. This big loop of earth energy coming up, helping you clear out any energy that may be in your legs, in your pelvic area. And again, this is like watching a river. You don't have to do anything. You're just going, oh, look at that energy run. Very cool. If there's any aches in your legs, let that earth energy collect it up. Release it. And now I'd like you to put your attention on the top of your head and notice the cosmic energy. Notice that energy is coming from the edge of the cosmos where everything is fresh and brand new. It has no influences from anything because it is so new. Recognize the color that you're bringing in of that neutral cosmic energy. And allow it. I shouldn't even say allow it. Just watch it. Watch it as it comes in through the top of your head and continues through your head to those two back channels. And watch that cosmic energy as it goes down your back. Allowing it to clear out any unconsciousness, any foreign energy that's in your back. Allow this cosmic energy just to help you clear out that stagnant energy as it continues to go down your back, all the way down to your grounding cord. Just watch that energy flow. Notice its color. And notice that in your grounding cord, there's a swirl of earth and cosmic energy. I'd like you to use some of the earth and cosmic energy, the fresh stuff that's there, to come up through your front channels. Allow that energy to come up through those two front channels. Watch it as it goes all the way up. And allows that earth and cosmic energy blend to spread out through the top of your head, out into your aura. And again, just notice what it's like to let this blend of energy to move through you without any effort, without any demands or control. It happens because you're watching it and you see it happening. And at the base of your neck, you'll notice those channels across your arms that allows some of that earth and cosmic blend to go across your shoulders, down your arms and out your hands. And again, allow this earth and cosmic energy blend to release any foreign stuff that may be in your shoulders, maybe in your neck, maybe in your arms, maybe in your hands. Let it go. And you'll notice that you have earth and cosmic energy releasing down your grounding cord, You also have earth and cosmic energy coming out of your head, coming out of your hands, out into your aura, and just be aware of your aura. Notice how big is this aura. And wherever it's at, allow your aura to come in about 12 to 18 inches around your body. Ground it into your grounding cord. Allow that earth and cosmic energy mixture. Let it clear out your aura. And allow that energy just to go down your grounding. Release it. And now I'd like you to be aware of your boundary bubble. Notice it being on the outside of your aura. Notice that it's grounded. And I'd like you just to move it around your aura. Just notice what is it like to have that boundary bubble just move around on its own. Notice where it goes. Notice that it can move up to the top of your head. It can move behind you. It can move to your sides. Move below you. It can move diagonal. Just watch it move around just because you can watch it. Notice that it's there to help you have separations from everything that's not you. It's there to help you have definition. And any foreign energy that's approaching or wanting to come into your aura, to your boundaries, allow this bubble to actually collect it up for you. And now outside of your boundary bubble, I'd like you to create another bubble. And I'd like you to pick a color. Any color, doesn't matter. And just notice that bubble. And then now I'd like you to blow it up. Destroy that bubble. And I'd like you to create another bubble. Same color, new color, doesn't matter, your choice. And I'd like you to blow that one up. And I'd like you to create another bubble. Your choice of color. And blow that one up. And I'd like you to create another bubble. And blow that one up. And create another bubble. And blow it up. Now what I'd like you to do is create an image. See an image of you, of your whole body. And this image of you, I'd like you to imagine seeing it as glass. So there's really just an outline of you. And as you're looking at this glass image of you, notice that you can see right through it. It's clear. It's empty. There's nothing in it other than an outline. And as you're looking at this glass image of you, I'd like you to notice, is it completely empty? Or do you see colors in there? Or maybe you're having a hard time seeing this glass image of you. And whatever the case may be, I'd like you to create a bubble and have this bubble be a magnet that's drawing out the colors that are in this glass image, allowing this bubble to help you release those colors that are there. And if you're not able to see anything, then allow that bubble to clear out the energy that says you can't see. And there may be a lot of colors in that. That's okay. Just let this bubble pull that energy out of your glass image. And now blow that bubble up. And continue to look at your glass image. And create another bubble right next to it. And again, allow this bubble to be a magnet to continue to help you release any colors that you see in your glass image, as well as any energy that says you can't see your whole glass image, your whole body. Let that energy release out of you into this bubble and blow it up. And now I'd like you to create another bubble. And again, turn on that magnet. Allow that energy to be absorbed out of you, out of your glass image, out of your body. Release that stuff that isn't you. Release it into this bubble. Fill your bubble up with this foreign energy and then blow it up. And now we're going to focus our attention a little bit more. So I'd like you to notice your glass image, and I'd like you to put your attention on your feet. So zoom your attention right into your feet. And again, as you're looking at your feet, notice, what am I noticing physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, as I'm looking at my feet? And noticing that it's a glass image. But how do I respond to my feet? If there's any type of colors that you see, or any judgments that you feel, or any thoughts about this process, be aware of it. That's the learning. And then create next to your feet that bubble. And allow this bubble to collect up all that energy. Give yourself permission to have that neutrality of just being glass. Letting your feet be glass. Where things run through it, they don't get stuck. Because they're neutral. And just watch that energy go into your bubble. And then blow it up. And then and create a new bubble. And again, just notice as you're looking at your feet, what reactions you have, what do you see, what do you experience. Allow that energy to go into that bubble. Release it. Can you just see your feet and notice it's clear and clean, where things can go through it because nothing can attach because it's a neutral space? And blow that bubble up. And now I'd like you to move your attention from your feet up into your calves. And you can notice your calves and your ankle. And again, notice them as a glass image. Can you see straight through it? Or is there images in there? Is there colors in there? What do you notice emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually as you're looking at your calves and your ankle? And as you're just paying attention, you're not trying to do anything yet, you're just becoming aware. In your awareness, maybe I don't notice anything. I can't feel anything. I can't see anything. That's okay. That is the awareness. Put a bubble right next to your calves and ankle and turn that magnet on and start to draw out that foreign energy. Allow your calves and ankles to be neutral, clear of any foreign energy. Release, let go. Allow your calves and ankles to be glass, where you can see right through it. And blow that bubble up and create another one. And continue to let the foreign energy that's in your calves and ankles, continue to draw it out. Continue to release. And blow that bubble up. And let's move your attention up into your thighs. Notice you have thighs and knees. And again, just notice, is this space here? Is this part of your body clear as glass? What do you notice? Can you see it? What colors do you see? What do you notice on a physical level? Emotional, mental, spiritual? Now put a bubble next to those thighs and knees and release. Allow that foreign energy that's in this space to leave it. Allow your thighs and knees to become neutral. Allow energy just to pass through it because there's nothing there to stop it. There's nothing there to get stuck on. And blow that bubble up and create another one. Again, continue to let this energy release. Energy that says you can't see, let that go. Energy that says you can't see detail, let that go. This is your body. Let anything and everything that is not you, let it go. Allow your body to be set at neutrality. Be set at that image of glass where just energy moves through with no resistance. And I'm going to have you blow up that bubble. And let's move your attention up into your pelvic area. Notice your genitals. Notice your hips where your legs attach. A lot of stuff in here. Can you give yourself permission to see this part of your body? Is it as clear as glass? Again, notice on a physical level, emotional level, mental level, spiritual level, what is going on in here? There's a lot of stuff. And again, put a bubble next to this area and just allow all the foreign energy, all the people, things, opinions, anything that's not you, allow that energy to release out of you into this bubble. And then blow that bubble up. And then create another bubble. Again, allow the energy to be collected up out of your body. Release it. Let it go into this bubble. Allow this area to start to become neutral. It's an image of glass where things move right through it. No resistance. You have your neutrality. And continue to let anything other than your neutrality to release out of there into this bubble and blow it up. And we're going to start to move your attention up into your midsection. Again, notice your midsection. Can you see right through it? Is it an image of glass? How do you respond to this midsection? Notice your thoughts, the emotions, physically, how do you feel? Just become more conscious to your midsection. And put a bubble right next to your midsection. And allow any foreign energy to release out of that midsection into this bubble. Let it go. Anything that's not allowing you to have neutrality for your midsection, let it out. You don't need it. It's not you. And blow that bubble up and create another one. And again, just allow this bubble to continue to help your body release, help you have your space, help you have more control, seniority in this section of you. Allow it to be neutral and clear. Give yourself permission to see this area and release everything else. And blow it up. And let's move your attention up to your chest. And again, notice your chest. How do you respond to your chest? Physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Can you see it as a glass image? And put a bubble next to it. And again, start to allow the energy that you're noticing to release. Let it go. Allow that foreign energy just to go right into that bubble. Notice that you can see your chest as a glass image. See how clear it is. And again, anything that's inside this area, just let it out. It doesn't have to stay there. If it's not you, let it go. And now I'd like you to put your attention on that bubble and just blow it up. And create another bubble. And allow that energy just to continue out of your chest into this bubble. Release, let it go. And blow that bubble up. And I'd like you to move your attention to your shoulders and your arms and your hands. And again, just notice, can you see that area as a glass image? And again, if you're having a hard time seeing this area, that's okay. Just acknowledge it. The acknowledgement is the beginning of change. Notice any colors, any thoughts, any emotions, any feelings. Again, put a bubble next to it. Draw that energy out of your shoulders, out of your arms, out of your hands. Clear it out. Let it go. Release it. Allow your body to be set at glass. And blow that bubble up. And create a new one. And continue to let the energy release out of your shoulders, your arms, and your hands. Let it go out into that bubble. Again, allow this area to be neutral, clear as glass. And blow that bubble up. And let's move your attention to your neck. And again, just notice your neck. What do you notice here? How do you experience your neck? Do you have thoughts about it? Do you have feelings and emotions? Is there something going on physically with this area? The first step is just to be aware. It's not about changing anything. Can I just be conscious to what's going on in my neck? That's a great first step. Can I see my neck as a glass image? And then put a bubble next to your neck. And again, allow the foreign energy that's in your neck to release out of it. Just watch it as it moves out of you. Watching that bubble fill up with foreign energy. Recognizing that you're gaining more and more neutrality to this part of your body. And blow that bubble up. And create another bubble. And continue to release. And notice, if you notice there's a lot of stuff in here and it doesn't go away all at once, be okay with that. That is a part of the process. It didn't happen overnight that stuff got in here. Don't go into judgment if you notice the stuff is continuing to release and you're like, wow, there's so much in here. It's not going to be clear at the end of this meditation. Be okay with that. That's a part of the neutrality of recognizing, oh, I got stuff to work on. Okay. It's not going to happen overnight. Be okay with that. And continue to let this energy release out of your neck. Can you see that glass image of your neck as it continues to release and dump energy out into your bubble? And blow that bubble up. And let's move our attention up to our head. And notice your head. Notice the mouth, the nose, the ears, the eyes. Notice that whole region of you. Can you see your head as a glass image? Is there stuff in there? Maybe going, oh, there's my inner sanctuary. Oh, that's a part of your head. That's true. But then there's other parts too. Can you be aware of your entire head? That includes your mouth and your jaw. Can you be conscious to this area of your body? Can you notice what happens in here when you pay attention? Physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Can you put a bubble right next to your head and allow this bubble to call out all that foreign energy? Release energy out of your jaw, out of your mouth, out of your tongue, out of your teeth, out of your lips, gums, ears, earlobes, your eyes, your eyelids, your cheeks. Allow your head to be an image of glass, just that glass image. Any place that's not neutral within this head, any energy that's not you in your head, just let it go. Say, see ya. And take that bubble and blow it up. And create another bubble next to your head. Continue to allow that energy to release into this bubble. Let it out. Let it go. It's not you. Allow your head to become a glass image. Allow your head to become neutral, where things can go right through it and doesn't stick, because there's nothing to stick in there. You own it in total neutrality. And blow that bubble up. Let it go. And now I'd like you to sort of pan back and see your whole body again. Notice your whole body as a glass image. Is it easier to see? Are there certain parts of your body more clear than others that you're able to notice? Are you able to be neutral as you look at your glass image and notice it may not be completely clear? Or can you be neutral and go, wow, it is clear, and I'm still neutral? Wherever you're at, it's okay. This is not about being perfect. This is all about learning. And now I'd like you just to notice that glass image. And I'd like you to change your attention and create a bubble right in front of you. And in this bubble, I'd like you to call back your energy from all the places that you've left your neutrality, where you were not able to have a glass image as a body, and fill this bubble up with your energy, allowing yourself to give to yourself. Since you've cleared a lot of stuff out of you, again, bring this bubble above your head and just start to bring it into your body, filling up every nook and cranny, releasing any space that needs your energy. There's a certain area you notice you released a lot, just bring that energy right in there and just coat the whole area. 100% you. Bring it all the way to your feet, all the way to the edge of your fingertips. You make sure you get into the organs, into your bones, into your skin, into your brain, your central nervous system. Allow it to go everywhere, filling you up completely with you. And be aware of your grounding. And just notice that your grounding is still there. And if it's not, create a new one. And again, just allow yourself to continue to release as you're processing what you just did. Well, congratulations. You're doing fabulous. This is an awesome exercise. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoy it. This is one that will always change. This is not about having a perfect body of glass, that glass image. This is really about realizing that you're a human being. You're very complex. We get stuck on energy. We let energy come in. We let things influence us. And the whole point of this meditation is to be okay with it. But we can also clear it out. And all it takes is time, attention, maybe even forgive yourself a little bit, but that's a different lesson. We'll be working on forgiveness in the future. But at the same time, it's really, this is just, can I be conscious to me and be okay with what I'm noticing? And can I also let stuff go? So congratulations. This is awesome. So use this meditation for the next 7 days, and I will talk to you in a week. Enjoy. Well, congratulations.
Wow, that was pretty awesome. I when we're playing the audio, I'm doing the same thing. So I'm actually following the audio, listening to what I notice. I find it fascinating because this is what I like about just notice what you notice is that I'll be paying attention to stuff and go, wow, look at all this stuff, and I'll notice things. But then by the end, I'm like going, oh wait, was there something I wanted to talk about? I don't remember because I didn't write it down. But that's the whole point of these meditations. And the practice here is it's not about holding on to stuff. It's actually about releasing and letting stuff go. And so, my attitude is like, well, if it was something you were meant to, if it was a lesson that you were learning about, then the information will come back to you. But if it was just something that you were letting go, then just let it go. Don't try to analyze and figure stuff out, because when you do that, you're holding it in. You're holding it inside of you, because now you're trying to figure it out. So don't do that. So anyway, so what'd you notice when you're doing this audio, when you're listening to the audio? So, pay attention to that. Notice the felt senses. Just what are you experiencing? And the biggest thing is just have fun. Life is too short. Enjoy the process. These tools is just designed for you to feel lighter, to be more present, to be more in your body, to not get stuck. Sometimes, we get so stuck, and the next, we become critical, we're cynical, we become angry, or we start doing things that are destructive, that are destroying our bodies, or may destroy our mental space. It destroys, we just start destroying ourselves because we're not happy. And really what that is it's just nothing more than stuck energy inside of us. And so when you're able to release that, when you're able to flow, when you're able to be free, then guess what? You have levels of enthusiasm that you may have forgotten about until you let stuff go, and then you go, God, I feel great. And that's the whole point, is enjoying life. So this type of work is it's really building. It's a strength build. It's strengthening the muscle of awareness of your four bodies and using these tools. Like I said, this is the 8th tool. We still have 2 more weeks of tools that we're developing. So make it a habit. One way we do that is we actually have skill builders and we have challenges on our website. These are for members. The membership is very inexpensive. I do that deliberately because I want people to have tools, but I also have to pay for the website and all the other stuff. So would love for you to become members. And if you want to know more about that, all you have to do is go to 4qboundaries.com and you'll see the membership right there, and you're welcome to explore it and see what it is and join. So would love to have you as part of our community itself. Also, please share this message with other people. Like this message, share it, subscribe. All that helps spread the word. So please do that. And the reason why I say that is, like, I have this vision. I would love it to see just everybody having their space. What would it be like to be in a society where people know what space is? They can actually see other people's spaces. They can give people space to be where they're at, versus trying to manipulate people. That's sort of where we're at right now in our society. It's all about, sales. It's about manipulation. It's learning language skills so that way you can influence people. But it's not respecting and honoring the person that's in front of you. It's something else. And when you really have your space, you create space for other people to be where they're at and be okay with that. But if everybody has that space, have their own space, then guess what? Things will just change completely. And that's what I'm hoping for. So the power of neutrality. This is the end of our presentation. Here's the last quote. The more that we can have our neutrality, the more we get to decide what we want to do versus just reacting without awareness. So have a fabulous time. Congratulations for completing this video, and use this as much as you'd like. And I will see you next Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Take care.